much. Our first speaker is head of IT and security. He has an experience of 10 years in cybersecurity. He has a part-time teaching job with UHAS and nursing informatics. Again, with the UCC College of Distance Education, and he's a management and information studies tutor. He also teaches at GTUC through programming, IT security, and networking. This man is having a bachelor's degree in information technology from the University of Cape Coast. He has a CISSP exam passed in 2011. And in the same year, 2011, he received a master's honors in information security from Royal Holloway University in London. Please, he is currently with the University of Health and Allied Sciences. I'm speaking about the man, Mr. Alfred Kumah, and he's going to give us a presentation on the topic, Preserving Patient Privacy, Cybersecurity in Healthcare. Preserving Patient Privacy, Cybersecurity in Healthcare. Please, with a round of applause, let us welcome our first speaker, Mr. Alfred Kumah. Please, a round of applause for him. A round of applause for him.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, my voice is a bit coarse. This morning, I don't know what happened. I just lost my voice. But I'll manage and do justice to the topic given me. Yes, I used to teach at GTUC of late. I have not been being on part-time. As they said, I'm Alfred Kumah. I'm with the University of Health and Life Sciences, IT Security Department. I'll go straight. Please, moderator, can you prompt me when I'm exceeded my time? Yes, I want to start with this quote. It said, Murphy's law states that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Some of us are familiar with this kind of speeches. And there is this former CEO of Apple that says there are two companies in the world, those that are where they are hacked and those that do not know. So it means we are all vulnerable. I'm taking it from cybersecurity area. Then we'll go into the topic for today. So the title of today's, my topic is Preserving Patient Privacy in Cybersecurity and Healthcare. Then I just want all of us here to discuss and understand the importance of safeguarding patient data in this digital age. Hitherto, most of our facilities are, let me just say here, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a health worker, but I interact with health people and I teach nursing informatics. So that gives me some little flair into handling it. So we just want to discuss and understand the importance of safeguarding patients' data. Now, imagine if this beamer that's here is stolen. We will know, is that not it? What if your data is sitting somewhere, somebody comes to copy it and leave the data? Will you know? Is it easy for you to detect? It is not. So some of these concepts that we want to talk about here stems from the fact that once we are engaging in usage of technology for which organized, we need to start thinking of security to give to those entities that we are collecting, to make sure that the kind of security we had before technology is preserved. The agenda this morning, we are going to just discuss about significance of patient privacy, some threats that there are to these healthcare systems. We also look at regulatory compliance. We also discuss some few best practices, and finally, some case study. I'll just throw out some questions for us to be thinking about. Then we'll discuss it finally when we go for the panel discussion. So, patient is any individual who goes to receive a service in a healthcare facility. You are a patient. And once you are a patient and you are accessing service from that facility, they will collect data or some form of information on you. Now, when they collect it, any information that they collect, that if they put them together, that will identify you, becomes your data. Now, why preserving that privacy? Why do we preserve that privacy? Because we need to make sure that the person on whom the data is collected is safeguarded in the environment he finds himself. It is very ethical. Most of our jobs, those days, I remember in some health facilities, you see, they will record your details and give you the folder to be roaming. And even sorry to say, if the accountant wants to take receipt of your money, it knows what's wrong with you. Even the security at the gate wants to check your ID. Those things are far gone and they are unacceptable. So these things leads to patients' mistrust in living organizations. So these are the reasons we need to make sure that we preserve privacy of any individual. That I'm saying individual, I'm not saying patient, because anybody who accesses a facility in a particular health environment becomes their patient and a client. And it is their fundamental human rights. So these things are very important for us to look at. Once this data is stored on an information systems, they become prone to some form of attacks. Some of them are ransomware. Please show by hand if you have heard of ransomware before. Ransomware. Yes. Thank you very much. Ransomware is any malware, any malicious software that gets you to pay a ransom. Let me just put it that way. So, for instance, the software comes to your machine, access your system, lock your important files, and tell you to pay money. You are paying ransom, making payment in order to receive your file back. That is a ransomware. And I think in 2017, there was this WannaCry attack in the UK health systems. And it took them very long time to restore and come back to service. So these are some of the threats our systems are prone to. Data breaches. We collect the data of me and somebody to our agencies. Let's take it from maybe a health facility to NHIS office. There could be breaches. They have to be stored. And if you can do it accidentally, you are just sending the data to somebody for you to just work on. But internally, somebody is leaking it. So these are some of the data breaches we look out for and we are prone to. And insider threats. Insiders are people who are working and they are leaking the information. That one, it is very common. In fact, the number one threat in every cybersecurity installation is the human being. We are the weakest link, fine. But your number one threat is the one who knows you. So the insider threat is a threat to some of these healthcare systems because the person knows what is wrong. Okay, let me ask this question. If your money is stolen from the bank and your health records should be made public, which one will you prefer? I need 2 volunteers. Yes, supposing your money is stolen from the bank or your medical health record is published in the public domain. So which one will you prefer? Yes, sir. Interesting. Yeah. Any other view? None. Okay, one must happen. So choose one. Yes, madam at the back. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Why? Can you please tell us why? Yeah. Excellent. In fact, the money there, the banks, we know they are bounded by regulations and law. Once you report and they will pay your money. Can somebody clean your medical record that has been leaked in the public domain for you? And once the people don't like you, it is registered in their memory. Imagine you want to go for an official political appointment. Imagine you want to do something. And so the health records are very, very important. And what is privacy? Privacy I did some little definition again. It's just to make it secret and make it known to only authorized person and none else. And for the purpose for which the person needs the information. So if I come to a hospital facility and I come at the registry, it is only my name and my ID that you need to know. You don't need to know further about me. When I go to the triage, where they take my vitals, they just need what is there. When I go so I shouldn't go to the registry for them to read everything about me. So you make it secret and to be linked to only an authorized user And it should be for the purpose for which it is needed. So for instance, if I need your data for maybe keeping your records, I don't need to ask so many things that will link to you that in case there's a threat or there's a realization of a threat, you'll be vulnerable. So some of these data impacts, so far in our part of the country, there have not been any publicly impacts that we know. But in developed countries where they have started, and I know we'll soon get there, they get hefty fines. And once you breach it, even the patients that come to your facility will not come again because they know that their data is not secure with you. Sorry, may I know if we have controller and accountant in our people here? If we have been doing certain things that we are not happy with. It is purely unacceptable. Unfortunately, if you go, sorry, they are also culpable. So imagine you have my data, and anytime SMS, all this is there. And do you know if you go and check our laws, they are there. Just nobody is triggering it. And so I think the regulators, I'll come to them in the slide. We need to start enforcing some of these things. I'm talking about health. It is in health. And sometimes, unfortunately, okay, we'll get there. Look at the daily graphic. That was Wednesday. They said about 14.2 billion patient system digitized. Daily graphic. Last Wednesday, check. And they said it is being installed into LHIMS, Lightweight Health Information Management System. Excellent. But what are some of the things do we need to do before we use all those things? I'll talk about regulatory compliance. These health institutions, these patient data we are collecting, for Ghana, I have done a little search. I haven't come across any specific policy or regulation or act that guides the operation of these institutions in regard to security. If you go to the US, there's this law called HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. It is very, very important. In fact, before you can even operate as a health worker, you have to be certified by them. They send auditors, monitor to check everything before they even say, yes, you are allowed to use systems. Is that what we do here? I will say no. We just receive these things and we do not put in the right legislation. I know of people in Ghana who are certified in this HIPAA thing. So if the institutions will engage, then they will help us to follow some of the rules. And these things, they put, let me just read the accountability part of the insurance. It establishes stringent rules and regulations to protect the privacy and security of individuals' health information. It requires healthcare providers, plans, and healthcare clearing houses to implement safeguards to protect the confidentiality, integrity of patients in the health information system. This includes requirements for maintaining, transmitting patient records, securing electronic health information, and providing individuals with rights regarding their health data. So laws like this, we should go and reinvent the wheel. In Europe, we have the General Data Protection, the Data Protection Commission. Data Protection Commission are these facilities regularly. And most of these things are state operated. So by the time the person comes to see it, oh, we are waiting, and nothing happens. Let us start taking action to make sure we protect our data and for the data owners and users. We have Cybersecurity Authority, the body that is helping us meet here today. It is very important, and activities that we do. They classify health institutions under critical information infrastructure, CII. So when you go to their site, they tell you what we must do. NITA is also there to help us. So we need these bodies. Else, it is in fact, the bodies do very well in the financial institutions. I don't know why in the health area, the bodies are not coming to help us to build these rules in order to operate efficiently. Some best practices for patient data security. So in environments where these things are kept, they must make sure there is access control. I mentioned that before you can even access the system, you have to be verified. They have to know you. The system has to know that you are required to do it. And once you go in, you should be controlled on what to do, just for the purpose of which you've gone in. When data is being transmitted, we make sure we protect it by encrypting it, by making it readable for the unintended user. That's encrypted. So we always have to monitor our systems. It is difficult. Monitoring in our part here is not very well done as it ought to be. We need to improve upon it, to monitor our systems so that if there's any, that's why I gave a quote that there are two companies. One that is hacked and is aware, and the other one is not aware. So what it means is that we are all, once you use the electronic system, one way or the other, your data is stored somewhere and someone is looking at you. Then we need to use secure communication tools. We need to update our system, those health systems. Unfortunately, you are not this audience for this place. So those that are keeping it, if you know you are keeping data, these are some of the things we need to look at. Here are examples. I'll leave this site for those who are interested in to look at, to visit. And it gives us statistics of institutions that are breached data and the fines that they pay and everything. So on this note, I will say it is very important to help protect our patient data, and we need regulators to regulate what we do. And those who breach whatever is done, they should be punished healthily. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, sir, so much for that wonderful presentation. Kindly have your seats on the panel. Please, let's give him a hand of applause. We can do better, please. Thank you so much. We now acknowledge some special guests from the service. We would have Madam Anyunam Dodo, please wave at us so we can see you. We have Mr. Matthew Sule, he's also from the police service. Mr. Yao Kleje from GIS. You're welcome. Mr. Majid J, also from GIS. Mr. Seth Tay from the Ghana Fire Service, sorry. Mr. Marcus Agbemavi, also from Fire Service. Mr. Charles Bango, you're welcome, sir. Mr. Zadok Ama from GIS. Mr. Munkaila Abdul Rashid, I'm sorry if the pronunciation is not okay. Mashal Bunyi, GIS, all right. Mr. Charles Obri Amwa. Madam Memunatu Abdullahi from GIS2, Mr. Daniel Latinga, Mr. Anthony Kofi Heavy, Mr. Francis A. Doche, Madam Wanda Pelgoka. You're all warmly welcome to this special gathering.